Hey guys, so I am finally doing my long-awaited WIP Parade. I guess long-awaited by me, really. If you're looking forward to it, awesome. If not, I hope you enjoy it regardless. I know I mentioned when I organized my WIPs and I shared the picture on like Stitchmania and Instagram, and I mentioned I'd be doing a WIP Parade. People said they were interested, so here it is. I'm gonna start actually by showing you. I wonder if I should just walk over there. I guess I can move the camera over and then show you, like actually go walk over there and show you. I do have a WIP. You can kind of see a frame there, so I might just walk over and show that one. But other than that, I have, yeah, most of my WIPs in envelopes. So if you hadn't seen that, if you look over here, you will see that I have the IKEA cards. Woo! I have two of them. I got one of them for my mother-in-law, one I purchased myself, and I am organizing my WIPs there. I have all these lovely little envelopes that I store my WIPs in, unless they're on a frame. That's really weird. I'm halfway off the frame. Unless I'm on a frame, I have some projects on Q-Snaps that I haven't taken off of Q-Snaps, and some projects in scroll frames, which you can actually see right there. I just have like a dollar store garbage bin. It's really tiny, but it's perfect to stand up my scroll frames in. The ones that are not in the pillowcase do not have anything on them. The ones that are obviously have fabric in them. In general, things get dusty, but I also have dogs, so they'd be dog hair everywhere. So yeah, I'm kind of weird when it comes to stuff on frames. I don't like taking them off. I don't know if that's good or bad. I know a lot of people say, take them off, it'll stretch it out. I mean, on the scroll bars, it's not like it's stretched out, so that's fine. But on the Q-Snaps, sometimes it's stretched out, and I think it still looks fine. And maybe like one or two projects in a hoop. Yeah. I know there's hoop marks associated with that, so I probably should take some projects off, but I still don't sometimes. I don't know. I don't know. It's a thing. Sometimes like it's just perfectly centered, or like the spot I'm working on is perfectly like aligned, so I don't want to take it out and then have to set it up again. Anyway, so I guess I'm gonna do that in a few pieces. I'll show you the one on my scroll frame, I'll show you the ones that are in like Q-Snaps or scroll rods, and then I'll go through the envelopes right there. So yeah, let's do that. Alright, see you in a second. Alright, so very quickly, there's my cards. They're not organized at all. I really honestly just got these. But I had these. These are from IKEA. They're from the drawer organizers, and they fit my envelopes perfectly. So I had them on a table which was over here, but that's actually a table that hubby and I use for other things, so I'm glad that I reorganized this space and I have this here and that there. That used to be under my table there. Kind of messy, sorry about that. But now I have more foot space, so that's nice. And in that is my Q-Snaps. I kind of wanted to fit them on here, but I couldn't because it's too, there's not enough space between here and here. It'd have to be on the top, but on the top I've already put my WIPs there, so yeah. So anyway, I was very excited when this fit like literally perfectly in here. There's a little bit of room in the back, so I've used, here I have some patterns, my DMC color cards. I want the new one. Maybe I'll try and sell that on eBay or something before I get the new one. And then back here I have some stretcher barks from Omanik, which these I'm also trying to sell. They're the really long ones that I just don't work for me. I have too short of arms, so if you're interested, let me know. We can work something out. But yeah, so I'm going to go through these. The first thing though I'm going to do is show you my project that's on the scroll frame, and then the Q-Snaps, and I'll go from there. Okay, so here's my first WIP. This is Quotes to Live By. This is the Mine Sal, or Quotes to Live By Sal by Stitchrovia. I realize it's not, you know, all visible, but it's, I mean, I'm currently working on it, so that's why I don't have it. unscrolled. But yeah, that's the quote I'm working on now. This was the June release. I kind of stopped working on this because I got to a point where, because I'm doing everything in a different color, I kind of wanted to see what was left. And I'm so glad I did, because I had plans for this to be in a different variegated. And I was dubious whether I wanted that color on this side or that side. So I'm like, okay, this one was just released. Let me wait till this one is released in July. It wasn't. It was the last one released. We went counterclockwise from here. So we got June, July, down here, August, September. So I'm glad I waited. I'm trying to get this quote done by this weekend. Oh, today is December 29th, by the way. So by the 31st, I'd like to have it done. I think I can. I like how that's showing up on camera, the you can, because I was really dubious about this background color. What I do is I pick the variegated, and then I pull colors using my DMC color card that are in the variegated or very close. Like this is not quite that color, but you can't really tell. And sometimes there's not enough colors to like get every motif or detail, so sometimes I pull like a complementary color. So I pull this lighter blue that's actually not featured in the variegated, and I thought it would be perfect, but it's just a tiny bit dark near the letters. So thankfully they are backstitched. I picked a dark gray to do it in to give it some contrast, and I think it worked out, especially on camera. You can really tell that says you can. I feel like when I look at it, you know, off of the camera, it's a little bit too dark, but I think it's gonna work. So yeah, I'm almost done with that. I will insert a picture of what the whole thing looks like here. Alright, so WIP number 1. There we go. Okay, so before I continue, I realized I didn't say something I wanted to say, which is that I will be planning out how I'm working on certain WIPs. I do plan to participate in Year of WIPs 2018, or YOW. If you're interested in that, I will link Melanie Watkins' video down below where she talks about it. She's the one that's hosting it. She hosted it last year, and I kind of started, you know, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, and then my stitching year was kind of crazy. I didn't actually do that much stitching this past year. So yeah, I just didn't really do it. But I'm really excited to do it. And in order to do that, I will be using a planner. So this is the Happy Planner that you can find at Michael's. This is Create 365. I get the feeling that's a Michael's thing, but maybe not. I know you can buy stuff for it on Amazon, but these are pretty pricey, and they were 60% off the other day at Michael's. So yeah, this is a $30 planner, and it was on sale for $11.99. I was able to use my teacher discount, so I got it for like 10 bucks, a little bit over 10 and change. But yeah, so I'm really excited. It's pretty basic as far as like what's in every month. I mean, all the months have this page here, so you can do some planning here. But other than that, it's just got your monthly calendar, and then hold on. Little spots for every day. It's got like 3 boxes per day. And I know this is meant like you can put certain stickers in here, and the Polaroid camera that you can see at the craft stores like prints this size exactly. I probably won't use it, you know, I won't put any pictures, or maybe I'll put a few stickers, but I'm just gonna write things in there. So we'll see how I decide to use it. As far as how I'm going to use it for stitching, I bought some filler paper on Amazon. I believe it's lined on one side and oh my gosh, graph on the other. Sorry, I was thinking of it in Spanish. And yeah, couldn't think of the word for a second, so graph on the other. So I'll probably do like one for Stitch from Stash, which I plan on doing, one from Year of WIPs, which I plan on doing, possibly one for yarn projects, which I haven't done a lot of, but I have plans to and just never have gotten around to it. But yeah, so this video is going to be really long anyway, so I'm going to cut that short. I'll probably talk about this a little bit more when I do my Year of WIPs. Year of WIPs does not start till January 18th, so I have a little bit of time in case you're wondering why not the 1st through the 31st. It's based around Melanie's birthday, which is January 18th, so that's why it starts that day. So I have a little bit of time. So this video is going to help me see what I've got and go from there. I know there's a couple things I plan on starting for sure. I'll probably talk about those again in Year of WIPs, especially if it's something I plan on finishing next year as well. But yeah, so without further ado, let's get going with the WIPs. I know I just showed you one. Let's look at the rest of them. Alright, so in no real particular order, I'm just going to go through my pile of projects and talk about them. I'll probably do a lot of inserting of pictures of what the projects will look like. Some have a cover sheet, some don't. So I'll just insert the picture. The first one I have to show you is actually scheduled to be done by the end of next week. So I've mentioned this in a couple videos. My LNS, the Cross Stitch Cupboard, is having a challenge, and usually the challenge is to take a piece and change the fabric and the threads. But this last one, we were given this sampler, and basically she said keep the letters and the numbers, but all the motifs are meant to represent you. So in all honesty, I don't even know where my original picture is of the pattern, but it's kind of not even worth it to show you because obviously it's just so different. Like there's nothing alike about it. The motifs aren't the same size or anything. But what I can do is I'll insert like maybe down here or down here, somewhere on this screen, I'll insert the name of the pattern. And the pattern was meant to have, I think, 15 motifs of reality TV. Like it's not obvious, you kind of have to figure it out, but yeah, represent 15 shows that the designer liked of reality TV. So for ours, we had to do motifs that represent us. It could be reality TV, it could be books we like, it could be things in our daily lives, it could be anything, honestly, plus your own fabric and threads. So I'm gonna show you mine. Mine is the same size as the original. The borders are not exactly identical. They're the same thickness, which is basically 3 stitches long. But like the original borders were a little bit different. Like one was a little wavy pattern, one was little plus signs, one was like a little crinkle pattern. And that was it. It was 3 sides. Mine are similar but not identical. So yeah, here we go. So this is what I've got so far. So this is the original size. This is in a 32 count Lugana opalescent in Meditation by Picture This Plus. And I love this fabric. I want to buy a yard of it if I could, but it'd be so much money. So I don't know, maybe when I find another pattern, probably a mermaid, probably a Mirabilia mermaid, might go on here, or some sort of fairy. So we'll see. I really love it. It's like mottled white and very light lilac, and it's gorgeous. I should probably mute my laptop. I think I'm gonna do that in between projects here, but let's finish talking about this guy. So yeah, so this is my project so far. I hope the lighting's okay. I know it's not the best. It's actually pretty true to color if I hold it like that. So there's my border. I used most sale silk for this. I don't remember the names, I apologize, but I used a purple for that one, then a pink, and then a blue. My favorite colors are blue and purple, kind of like aqua, but I thought the pink would look nicer than trying to put in another blue, even if it is aqua. And I do like pink. I do remember the color of this. This is also Mosaic Silk, and it's from the Hunger Games line, Capital. Yep, so that's the letters. They're almost in the same spot. I think I moved either the S or the U down there just to make room. And then the numbers are in Mosaic Silk in Caesar, also from her Hunger Games collection. So the motifs are a combination of TV shows I like, things I do in my life, things I'm passionate about. And there's been a few changes here and there of what I've done and what I plan on doing. So we'll see how it ends up. But it's almost done. If I don't change anything else, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, around 7 motifs left. Plus I want to add a little charm with well, not a real sapphire, but you know what I mean, from like Hobby Lobby or Michael's or something, to represent my birthstone. And that's about it. So the motifs I've got so far are some yarn balls, and a crochet hook. I've started crocheting. I've done very little, but I do enjoy it. Stitching is my main hobby, and I have so much of it to do that it kind of takes the backseat, but I still like it. Stork scissors, obviously to represent cross stitching, as well as some skeins of floss there. The YouTube sign for Flosstube, and I like YouTube in general. TARDIS for Doctor Who, a spool of Krennic, a Game Boy, the original, which I do have, and I love it. Crescent Moon one from Sailor Moon. Probably going to have a bead go there for the Millennium Silver Crystal, the Ginsuishu. A mermaid, because I love mermaids, and it's very similar to the mermaid I kind of used for the theme for like my baby shower and all that, just because I thought it would be adorable. Because, oh my goodness, somebody is texting me. I have to go to check out and see what it is, because I am so excited that the colors of that Caesar floss are pretty much one of the house colors for the Harry Potter houses. You've got a red, a blue, a green, and a yellow. So hello, Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, Slytherin, and Hufflepuff main colors. I know they have a complementary color. I knew I was going to put something Potter related, so I decided to do the glasses, but I did it in that spot because of the numbers. So I'm very excited about that. And didn't show the ones up here. Books, because I like to read, and / because I'm a teacher, I guess, and math. This is the quadratic formula. Originally I was going to stitch it, but I thought it looked really chunky, so I decided to use some backstitch. I'm still kind of iffy about how the fraction bar looks on there, because it's such a long fraction bar that I did it in like chunks of 3 or 4, and I don't know, but if I did a whole long strand, I don't know, I think it would not work. So I think it'll be fine. Other motifs I plan on doing on here, 2 doggy faces to represent my 2 dogs, a fire, like a campfire, if I can make it fit, because the one I found, I have it in a little book and it's a little bit too big, and I don't want to stitch it over one. I originally thought of doing that, but it'd be the only motif over one, so I think that would just like look really strange. If I'd done more motifs over one, maybe it would work, and at this point I think it's too late to space them out. Something pregnancy related. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I probably will have to create it, but I've seen a lot of like simple outlines of what looks like a woman with her belly, and there's a little heart over the belly. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. Because the whole time I've worked on this, I've been pregnant, I think, or most of the time. and a recorder, and that would be a recorder like the instrument, which I do enjoy playing, even though it doesn't seem to be quite a popular instrument, but if you look, there are definitely people who are into it. And I have to sneeze, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, so that's what I've got so far. This is gonna go on display at the store on January 15th, so I really do have to finish it. Again, I'm planning on finishing Quotes to Live By in the next couple days, and then I'm gonna go work on this, and yeah, I think that'll be it for my stitching for the next few days / beginning of the year, and then my whole like year of WIPs will come into play on the 18th. So basically I'm gonna see like what I want to work on, if there's anything I want to start between now and the 17th, so I can have year of WIPs kind of planned out and ready to go. So yeah, that is WIP number 2, and I don't know if I'm gonna keep counting, but I guess I will for a little while. So yeah, moving on. So the next one is one I started kind of recently. I took it to my LNS mainly because I had never done this type of project before, and that is a needlepoint kit. So I know that the basic needlepoint stitch is just a half stitch, but especially when you're working with mesh canvas, I believe is what it's called, or maybe it's just called canvas. You don't want to just do half stitches. You want to do like a basket weave or a continental to make sure that the fabric canvas doesn't get distorted. So this is going actually to be for my daughter, for Isabella. So I do have till, you know, December to finish it. I want to get it done hopefully by November, maybe like the beginning of November, so I can mail it to my aunt so she can finish it, because on top of me never having finished a stocking before, this is on canvas, so I think it'd be even harder for me to finish it, and I think she will do well finishing it herself. So yeah, so this is by Dimensions. The reason I picked a needlepoint kit is because my family, well, my husband's family has the tradition of having stockings. Originally, they were the felt applique stockings, and now, well, not now, but for a while now, it's been cross-stitch stockings, and there's been some needlepoint. I don't know if anybody actually has a needlepoint one, but I know she's got some needlepoint ones ready, because usually she'll just buy stockings when she sees something unique. So when a new member of the family is added, either through birth or marriage, then, you know, she'll have something to stitch, and she'll kind of pick from there based on, you know, if it's a male or female, personality, that kind of thing. So a lot of the designs are like somebody already has that design. It'd have to be like, I don't know, I'd have to either like go searching maybe in a magazine and find a design to find something a little bit more unique, and I could have done that, but I kind of like the convenience of the kit. So yeah, so you probably want to know what this looks like. This is the Hugging Penguins stocking. It looks adorable. Hopefully it'll work out nicely. Of course, it's not going to say Elizabeth, it's going to say Isabella. But yeah, so I started this mainly just to get some tips from the ladies at my LNS who have done needlepoint before. But I probably won't pick this back up till, I don't know, a while. Isabella is due February 28th, so I have plans. We'll see if they actually happen. But yeah, so we'll see. So this is what the canvas looks like. It's printed, it's not hand painted. There's so much light coming in through that window. I need something. Here, there we go. So that's, I mean, it's still pretty light, but that's the printed, it's on there. There is also a pattern though, so you have both. Oh, that's, I'm showing you from back. Dark. There we go. So I've only done a little bit of the hat there. I actually bought this fiber at my LNS. For some reason it came with like the wool or cotton, whatever it is. Yeah, wool yarn. And then the white is floss, like 6-stranded DMC floss, and it's just such a pain. I mean, the only thing is it's not as white as the floss, but I think it's gonna look fine. So I'm not too worried. Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm not unpicking it. I decided to go with continental stitching. I like it better than basket weave. I tried both up here. I had one of the ladies show me. I tried a few stitches. I decided to go with continental. I have a couple rows that came out just as half stitches, but oh well. So yeah, I've got this little poof ball here and some of the hat there. And I'll eventually keep working on that. And hopefully it'll be done. I still have no idea how to attach this to fabric, so I'm really curious to see what it's going to look like finished. But I mean, it is full coverage, so there won't be any like plasticky canvas bits showing up or anything like that. Yeah, so I'm excited about it. I think it's adorable. We do plan on having more than one child one day. Ideally, we want them to maybe 2 years apart. We'll see if that actually works out. So maybe I'll keep the theme and do another needlepoint stocking at that time. Or maybe when we start trying, or maybe when we fall pregnant again, I'll start it and get it going. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. Especially because I have so much I want to stitch anyway, but we'll see. And I think it does go a little bit faster than stitching, mainly because it is just the basic needlepoint stitch. There's no fancy stitching going on there. Because originally I'm like, maybe I'll just convert it to cross stitch. But the needlepoint is fine. It's not like it's difficult. I just needed to learn how to do it. So yeah, where am I at? WIP number 3. Let's see how long this counting thing goes for. Okay, this next WIP is my own design. I wanted to do a Harry Potter piece with all the titles of the books. Not the full title, but just, I guess, the unique part of the title, because it's like Harry Potter and Harry Potter and Harry Potter and Harry Potter and. So I've seen the chart like this before. I believe on Etsy, or maybe somebody was stitching it and they mentioned it was on Etsy, but I didn't like that the font was similar and the colors were kind of weird. So I'm like, well, I could do a color conversion. But I didn't just want that. I wanted my own font, so I decided to create it. And I don't mind showing you this because it is my pattern, even though I'd like to put it up on Etsy. I've just never taken the time to figure it out. And this was done by hand, which was a pain. And as I've stitched it, I found I made a couple mistakes, so I'm kind of glad I didn't like scan this in and try and sell it, because clearly I needed to edit this. I hope I didn't do that. I just noticed something. Okay, no, see, like, I'm glad I had noticed. So anyway, I will eventually get cross stitch software and figure it out. It's not too expensive, but I mean, it's still a chunk of money, so I've been waiting for the right time and waiting for the right time and never actually gotten it. So we'll see. Maybe when I have a reprieve from buying all the baby things, even though we were very generously gifted so many things through Christmas and baby shower and everything. But the big stuff people aren't going to necessarily buy. I mean, maybe a few people will go in on a bigger item, but we probably, we have to buy a lot of the big stuff ourselves. So that's been happening, so I just don't have the extra chunk to spend on something else. Anyway, at one point I will buy the cross-stitching software and share this. So this is basically what it looks like. It's funny, I didn't even mark Prisoner up all that much, but I have stitched on it. So yeah, I'm almost done with Prisoner. I've got stone, done. Chamber, prison, and I'll finish that. I decided to make it in the colors or close enough to the color of the title of the books of the original hardcover US covers. Well, I guess not necessarily hardcover because the soft covers also have the original color. So it was like a gold, silver. Obviously I used, I didn't use metallic. Originally I was going to use the MC Satin, and I actually worked with the MC Satin, and it's a nightmare to work with. I love how it looks, but it would just be too much. Like, I like using it in little things. I couldn't. It would just drive me crazy. So yeah, it's on black 16 count Ada. So I mean, it still stands out a lot, basically. So yeah, that's what that looks like there. So as I said, gold, silver, green, then we have an orange, blue, purple, and red. So that's the colors I'm going to use. And I'm excited to get this done. I very, very carefully planned this out so they actually would line up as well. Like, all the words are in different fonts of different sizes so that the letters would actually be the same width, the same width. There's not like a shorter one and a longer one. And I'm very proud of myself for that because it took a lot. So yeah, I'm excited to be working on that. And I think I already lost count with that, with number 4. For 4 people. Yeah, so I think I have one WIP on my bookshelf. I'm going to grab that, and the rest are in my envelopes. So I will go from there. Okay guys, so this WIP is one that I started when I was camping. I think this was Georgia. I don't know if I worked on this in South Carolina or not. I think I had something else. I think I did work on this in South Carolina as well, but I still don't have that much done. I didn't work on it that much in South Carolina, only because that's when I first started crocheting, so I did a lot of crocheting instead. But this is just a simple little kit. I got it at Walmart. It was maybe like $4 or $6. It's by Busilla, and it's just called Bluebird, and that's it there. And I've only worked on this at that time, so, like during camping, so there really isn't a lot done. But I would like to eventually get back to this. Maybe it could be a purse project or like an office project. But that's all I've got so far. I can't even figure out what's the top and what's the bottom here. This is what I've got. But I can't figure out if it's supposed to be this or this. I get the feeling it's supposed to be that, but I don't know for sure. So let me see if I can quickly figure that out. You have got to be joking. I didn't mark this, you guys. I didn't mark this out. I have no idea. I'm probably gonna have to unpick that. I have no idea what this is. I must have started in the middle of the project. Maybe? Yeah, I mean, there's my fold for the middle. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I did that, you guys. I think I know what I did. Okay. Whew. Okay, let me make some sort of marking on this thing so I know what I've done real quick. I apologize. Maybe I'll cut this out. I probably won't. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Then I went up and down. Did I? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think, okay. That's good to know. I'll have to count it out, but at least I know where I started. So it is like this, actually, not like that. I can't believe I did that. I started this and I didn't mark the pattern at all. But thankfully, I know I started in the middle so I could figure out what that was. So that was kind of crazy. Yeah, so the things we find out when we do a WIP parade, huh? So yeah, this will probably not be a camping project anymore because honestly, I don't expect we'll be doing a lot of camping until Isabella's a little bit older. So who knows how, if I'm just going to put it into rotation, if I'll just pick it up when I'm at doctor's offices, we'll see. So that pretty much wraps up everything that wasn't in one of my project folders. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the first one. I have it right behind me. So we're just going to go through the folders here. It's going to take a little while because I do have to go through them and put them back because I don't want a mess. So I think what I'll do is I'll roll this chair over and put that down there so it's easy to grab. And I'm going to pull, give me 1 second, my pillowcase of Q-snaps with projects in them. I have a few Q-snaps that don't have a project in them and keep it close because even though they're in here, they're still in, like, the pattern and stuff is in one of these. If I have like a copy of what it's going to look like because it was a kit or I printed it out, of course I will show that. If not, I will pull it up, you know, on the screen or whatever. So let's get rolling. Alright, so in no particular order, just what's here. I actually have one more in a little baggie here. And this is a free pattern by Ink Circles, but it's just the pattern, so maybe I can hold it far back enough. Oh, there we go. I can just fold it. So this is ink spot number 7 for In a Bush, and that's going to look like where it's done, but I'm doing just the outline one. I'm not doing the inside colors. And that's how much I've got done, all the red. I'm doing it on a scrap of, I think, 32 count linen. It's definitely wood chilled because it's very scratchy, and I got it in a lot off of eBay, I think. And I'm using Mo Silk Sail in oak. There is mistakes in this. Oh well. It's just practice. It was kind of like my, do I really like linen piece? It's alright. I know I don't like wood chilled linen all that much. But we'll see. I'll have to decide how to finish it so that it looks like, if you look at it real quick, you can't tell there's a mistake. But obviously this is mandala style, so it's supposed to be symmetrical, and one of the corners is like a little bit wider than the other one. But if I just show you like this, you're not going to know. I really need something. You know what? Give me 1 second. Pardon my reach there. Here, I can use this cardboard from this project bag. Does that help at all? It's also the light, you guys. Let me see if I can close my curtains a bit. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, I think that is going to be better. There we go. I'll just have to play with it. And it doesn't help that my fabric is extremely folded. But you guys get the gist. It's an aqua color on a purpley fabric. I'll have to maybe show a picture whenever I want to show this. Wonder if this side would be any easier because it's not white. We'll see. One of these has to come out somewhat nice. So yeah, I'm sorry that one showed so poorly, but I hope you get the idea. As you guys know too, sometimes darker fabrics, it just photographs and videos so horribly, and you don't quite get the effect that you see in real life. So I apologize, that was so crummy. Hopefully all the others will show up okay. Alright. Wow, I just pulled out like 3. Okay. My next one is my Caribbean my Caribbean Santa from the Mill Hill Santas. This is the 2017 series, and this is Trinidad Santa. I actually just have one envelope labeled Mill Hill Santas. Most of the time I will just peel it off if I finish a WIP and stick a new one on. But since I know I'm going to be working on these for a long time because I want to do all of them, and there are currently, what, 54, and I've done 3. This is my 4th one. I know this envelope is going to continue to be in use. So this is what Trinidad Santa is going to look like. I apologize for the glare. From the Caribbean Santa line by Mill Hill. The designer is Sandra Cosolino. I always want to say Susan, but I'm pretty sure it's Sandra. And here is where I am at with him. See, so much better. It's the fact that that fabric was folded and dark, and yeah. So yeah, he's got a lower torso and very, very, very skinny legs because, you know, there's other colors that go there. So that's where I am with him. My plan last year was to do one a month. I don't know if that's going to happen, so I'll have to see how I do that. I guess I'll do a few pockets and then I will put them back. Lizzie Kate's A Good Marriage. This is what it's going to look like. Usually this is sold as a kit, but I was able to get it off Stash Unload for a few dollars because I knew I didn't want to use the kit colors anyway, so it'd be kind of silly for me to buy a kit. I apologize. Lots of talking equals lots of drinking. By the way, if you're expecting and you want to get a bottle, I got this on Amazon for less than $20. It's called the Belly Bottle. It's got, I mean, this looks like a lot of popular bottles, but this one has, you know, the time on here, so you're supposed to finish by a certain amount of time if you're trying to keep track of it and you're not pretty good at drinking water, but I tend to go through water like a crazy person. It's got a cute little thing you can do your hashtags if you want to put it on Instagram or whatever, and it reminds you that if you do up to it, like for every hour of exercise, you should add basically an extra 8 ounces of water, and for every hour outside on a hot day you should also add about another 8 ounces. I live in South Florida, so that'd be a ton of water, so I just try to keep a lot. And the best part is you keep track of how big baby is. It's so cute. I'm at week 31. Oh my goodness, right there, she's as big as a pineapple. And I noticed they misspelled that. They put pineapple, like no A. So that was kind of amusing. But yeah, very cute. So Amazon, just type in Belly Bottle. You get blue. You can get blue with a pink cap or pink with a blue cap. I didn't know at the time that we were having a girl, so I just picked the pink bottle because I have another one of these that's just like a general one, and it was blue. So I'm like, well, I don't want another blue one, so I got the pink with the blue cap. Either way, it's got both colors on there. So yeah, adorable. You'll be seeing a lot of that during this video because my throat is killing me. Oh my gosh, you guys. Tuesday. I mean, it's Friday today. Tuesday, at the end of the day, I felt like there was something in my throat. It felt like a popcorn kernel. But I hadn't eaten any popcorn or anything similar that would have something like that. So I'm like, I tried coughing, swallowing. Didn't work. I'm like, let me just go to sleep. I'll feel better in the morning. I thought I felt better, but as I started, I kept feeling it as I swallowed. Oh my gosh, it was horrible. That day was horrible. I barely ate just because it made me gag. My gag reflex is terrible, like now being pregnant. Other than that, I've been pretty good. But honestly, the gag reflex, I mean, I can barely brush my teeth and I'm just like, whoa. It's, I'm sorry if that's TMI, but it's just like weird. Because I've never really been one to just like gag like that. Anyway, it was horrible. It really had me down for like the day. Thursday I was like, maybe I need to go see a doctor, make sure like this isn't injuring me. Every day I woke up with a tender throat, but it felt like not as bad, but I could tell something was still there. I called my closest urgent care center and I kind of explained what's going on, and I'm like, is this something I should go to you for? Just because I wanted to know, like, is it worth me going over there? And then they're just gonna not really do anything. Like, what can they do? Like, so they said the most they could do is take an x-ray, confirm there was something there, and refer me to an ENT. So I decided not to go, but it was still bothering me later. So I decided to go try to make an appointment with an ENT, and they didn't have one till January 31st. So I made it, but honestly that seems so silly right now. Like, if I really feel like I need to go see one, I need to just call another ENT that's in the area and see if they have something available sooner, because come on. It's still a little annoying, but it doesn't feel as bad. So I'm thinking I'm just healing. Haven't had any trouble breathing. It doesn't seem to be life-threatening. I'm just I don't know, you guys. I'm really concerned about it. So, like, if I keep feeling it, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I woke up this morning and it feels a lot better. It doesn't really feel like it's there. So the other thing I'm thinking is that there was something there. I did get it out, or like I swallowed it or something, and it just, like, my throat is tender because it was there. So I don't know. I was gonna do this video yesterday and I couldn't. I was like, oh. Anyway, sidetrack there. So I've been drinking a lot of water too, also because of that, because my throat, on top of lots of talking and feeling dry. Every once in a while I feel something annoying, but it doesn't feel like that, like it did on Wednesday. So something's getting better. Anyway, a good marriage. I wanted to do it in red and purple, which are my husband's and my favorite colors. His is red, mine is purple. The original colors are like a brown and a lighter brown and like a blue. And this is what I've got so far. I've got a good marriage, must be created. Oh, I have this, might as well use it. This is a 35 count something from my LNS. I have no idea what it is anymore. I'm using entirely cast threads, and I'm really happy with it so far. I did see, I believe it was D Stitcher edited this, and I might or might not do this. I haven't decided. I think I may go for it. This little box down here, this little motif, she just made the outline, and in the middle put established and her wedding year. I might do that. I think that's really adorable. I also am making some changes to the motifs in the actual pattern. I think I changed the bird and the house. Yeah, the bird is no longer there and the house is no longer there. I just didn't really like the idea of it. I don't know why. So I'm putting different hearts there. I'm doing like a solid heart here and an outline of a heart. Where's the bird? There. Obviously that means a lot of pink if I choose to do it. So there's a blue heart on here. So I might do like a yellow heart and then maybe just make one of them pink. I know it's not as even with the colors. I don't know if that's part of the reason the motifs are that. I think they're weird to how, I don't know. I don't like how they look, so I'm making hearts instead. We'll see when I get to them if I do them both in pink, if I do one in yellow, because there's already a heart as one of the motifs. So I made mine look a little bit different, obviously. And it's blue. So maybe I'll make the other two colors that are used in the motifs are yellow and pink, yellow, and green. So I might do one maybe in yellow. I don't know, that might look weird, a yellow heart. We'll have to see. It might look fine in pink, who knows. I'll have to decide when I get to it. I don't know, maybe when I get to it I'll be like, you know what, I like the bird after all, so I'll do a bird. But for now, that's what it is. The last one before I put it, this is from a book, so I'd have to find the book. Let me go do that so I can show you the finished piece, and then I will be right back and I'll show you my progress. Okay, so this next one is from the Jane Netley Mayhew's Cross Stitch Safari book, made popular by Carolyn Mascio and Letitia and the Crafted Curator and Jessie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff and probably others. So I want to stitch almost everything in this book, but I decided to start with a small pattern. I don't know why. I could have started with a big one, but who cares. This is called A Graceful Tail, and it is a Paradise Flycatcher, and that is the stitched piece. I just want to do the bird and maybe have him stand on a branch. I'm not about the nest with the little pigeons on it. I don't know why. But I also don't want him floating in thin air, so we'll have to figure out if I can like make up a branch or something. And I'd like to frame him in an oval frame. I think that would look so cool. But oval frames are hard to find. I don't know. This is 14 count Aida in seafoam green. I just found this at my local Joann's, so I'm not going to unfold it because you can see my progress in it there. So that's what I've got so far. And it's gorgeous. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to working on him, maybe getting him done this year. Possible Year of WIPs piece. That's kind of what I'm using also, like for me, this is what I'm using WiP Parade for, is like, what do I really want to consider for Year of WIPs? I have about 54 WIPs. I get the feeling I have a couple more. On my Evernote app, which I updated recently, I have 54, but there's a possibility that a couple didn't make it in. So I might have like 55 or 56, but it's right around there. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. I would like to make it down to about 25 this year. I think it would be great if I only had one of these boxes. Of course, I'd have a lot of extra envelopes. 25, maybe 30 max WIPs. So I need to finish about 25 things. You know, 25 to 30 things. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. And not keep adding more. I know there are some things I want to start, but a lot of the things I want to start, I do also want to finish. So hopefully that'll work out. Alright, let's get the next few envelopes out. Alright, this is Joan Elliott's Stardust Fairy. This is a freebie. It was a collab between Joan Elliott and DMC. And I don't have a picture of the finished one in it. It's somewhere, but not here. Okay, I will insert a picture of what that's going to look finished here. And here is my progress. So this is on my Omanic frame, not stretched out because obviously this will stretch it out. That's my progress so far. This is 28 count Lugana in blush, I believe. It's opalescent and I got it from my LNS. I have no idea what company it's from. And it's got a lot of dog hair on it. I need to clean it off. So yeah, I think I'd like to get this one done this year. So probably a Year of WIPs piece. As far as Year of WIP goes though, I get the feeling the minimum requirement is 15 projects, but whatever number you choose, you have to finish half. And I'm pretty sure I can finish 15 things. So maybe I can go up to 30 projects on my year of WIPs, knowing that I maybe won't finish all 30, but if I can finish 15, that's already a good goal. So I'm thinking anywhere between 20 and 30 projects in my year of WIPs, and that would bring me down to my goal, especially because I know I'm going to start stuff. I'm probably not going to finish everything I start. I know a few of the things that I want to finish that I want to start, I want to finish for sure, and I should have no problem finishing because they're not very large. So yeah, and I have, like, my challenge piece right now is a WIP. That's going to be done in the next week. So, I mean, that's already one closer to my goal. So yeah. Anyway, I'll talk more about that in Year of WIPs. I'm thinking about it as I'm doing this WIP parade. So, you know, pardon all the moving and, you know, changing and reaching and I don't know, real life. Alright, the next one is called First Kiss. I got this kit at eBay. It's from China, I believe. It did come with 11 count Ada. That is not what I am using. Wait a minute. There should be a finished picture of this, but I'm only seeing the pattern here. That's a bummer. I'll insert a picture of what this is going to look finished like here. And here is my progress. Now this is on 28 count, Not So Even Weave by MCG Textiles. Probably it's because of my experience now with even weave, but when I first started it, it was okay. I mean, the first project I did on that even weave was on the mushroom one, and for some reason the mushroom one I thought was very nice. Like maybe I just got a really good piece. So I went out and I bought the white one and the antique white one, which is what this is on. And, well, as you can expect, I was like, why is this so weird? This doesn't feel right. I don't like it. But it gets the job done and it's okay. I definitely want to get this done. It's only 7 colors. It's sepia toned, as you saw, and what it's going to look like. That's how much I've got so far. I love it so much. I love it so much, you guys. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And I can't wait to get it done. Yeah. This piece looks surprisingly square to me. So, I don't think this is meant to be a square piece. I mean, it's not a square, so. But yeah. This is when I gridded fabric, and I can tell I messed up my grid line here on one of them, but you get the gist of it. But yeah, I should have plenty of floss since I did come with 11 count Ada and was meant to be stitched 3/2 since I'm using 28 count even weave. It's not, you know, it's just 2/2 instead of 3/2, so that should be fine. I shouldn't have to worry about floss. And it came actually with printed Ada, so I have to figure out if I'm just going to wash that out and use it for something. I mean, it's 11 count Ada, so most likely I won't really be using it. But, hold on, I'm trying to figure out how to do this because I have a lot going on in front of me right now. Okay, so too much going on is never a good idea because that just fell all over the place, but everything's fine, thankfully. So I was mentioning, I do have now that piece of 11 count Ada I don't know what I'm going to do with. So we'll see. Maybe I'll use it for something. But moving on, because we still have a lot to go in. As you can tell, I already lost track of my numbers. So I made it to like 4 WIPs before I stopped the whole counting thing. But again, in general, I have around 54. So my next one is Mirabella's Bluebeard's Princess Mirabella. Now, I do have a picture of what she's supposed to look like. But I am doing a conversion. Not one I created myself. This is from, I don't remember the person's name, but it is available on the Mirabella Nora Corbett conversion groups on Facebook. But this is the original design. And I'm doing like a purpley pink bluish conversion. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert a picture of what that looks like finished here. And this was a picture from the group. So, you know, like I didn't steal it. This is somebody else's work, but she shared the conversion with us. So here is that. And here, let me see if I can do this without spilling stuff, is where I am right now. This I created using a tutorial by Courtney ECR, these scroll rods, before I got my Omanic frame. And they work fine, so I haven't taken her off. This is on 28 count opalescent Lugana in Gina by... I don't know. I think hand dyed by Steph. And that's what I've got so far. It's gorgeous, people. I'm so excited to get back to her. I definitely will work on her some this year. I doubt I'll get her done, but I do want to work on her. And she's so pretty. I love it. I love it. So yeah, that is that one. And how dorky am I that even though this is basted on, and you can't even tell, I always make sure my basting floss matches the fabric, which doesn't mean anything at all, but it's not like you actually see it. But I do it anyway because I'm weird that way. We'll see. Maybe if I finish the mermaid I currently have on my Omanic frame, I might transfer her to the Omanic, just because this one's a little tough to work with, just because these rods, even though they're meant to be uniform, they're supposed to be 1/4 inch thick, they're tiny bit smaller, so they slide a bit in the frame, and it's really annoying, but it's already on there, it's basted on, so it's annoying to want to take off. I have another mermaid. I have a few mermaids I'm working on. In case you don't know and you haven't watched my previous videos, I love mermaids and I want to stitch all the Mirabilia mermaids. I think there's only one pattern that I'm like, that one's okay. But I'd probably end up stitching it just because I want to complete everything. Aphrodite mermaid. No longer the most recent one, because now we've got Renaissance mermaid. Oh, so pretty, but I've got enough going on. This I'm also doing a conversion on, not because I don't like the original colors, but because I do plan on stitching all the mermaids, or most of the mermaids. A lot of them are very similar in tone. Even if they don't use the same exact floss colors, it's blues and greens for the most part. So even though she's gorgeous, and I already have another conversion in mind, but goodness knows I probably won't stitch that twice. Maybe I will, but the second one will be way in the future, because I've got too much going on right now for me to start another conversion on her. Oh, and quick mention, I'm not going to stitch the shell. I went back and forth on it a lot, but I just haven't found a color I like that works with what I'm stitching. Oh, this one I have tied with ribbon so it doesn't roll around. I just need to get more ribbon for my other one. But yeah, so I'm stitching this as a Sal with Adele from Delcat Stitches. I sent her some fabric a while back and she happens to start Aphrodite Mermaid on it. I knew I wanted to start Aphrodite Mermaid, but I hadn't thought about it. And I did have some fabric she actually sent me, so I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to. So yeah, this is, goodness, I already forgot. I know it's 32 count Murano by Crafty Kitten. I can't remember the name. Daybreak, I think. So I'm doing blues and pinks on her. Hold on. I'm rolling the wrong way here, people. This is how much of her I've got done. The blues are the original blues, and basically anything that's green I swapped out for pink. I also did this metallic purple to kind of tie them together because, you know, like red and blue would make purple, I guess pink and blue would make a shade of purple. So that works out. The only thing is that it's size 8 Krennic instead of size 4. It's a little bit of a pain, but it's something I had from Stash. I wanted to use it. It works out. You just have to be patient with it. Originally I was going to do a blue, but it just looked way too similar to the blue I'm using. The main royal blue I'm using. So that's why I decided to go with the purple. So yeah, that's where she is so far. And I'm excited about stitching her. But again, I don't think she's going to be a Year of WIPs piece. I have 2 other mermaids that I want to make Year of WIPs. Possibly a third. We'll see. Again, and I'll probably say this a million times in this video, but when I make my Year of WIPs final decisions, I will share that in a video sometime, probably next week. I have off till the 8th. I have to go back to work on the 8th. So I have time to make the video. I know technically Year of WIPs doesn't start till the 18th, and I could do it later, but I just don't want to take the time to do that when I'm back at work, because I have to start getting things ready for going on maternity leave. So I want to be done with that and done, like have that video done by the time I have to go back. So here we go. By the way, if you haven't grabbed like snacks or a drink, you might want to do that, because we're in for a long one. Probably my longest video ever, between showing you the WIPs and these little chats. You know, in fact, I'm probably gonna have to take a break for lunch, which, being pregnant, lunch is like something small, and then I'll be super full. But like 2 hours later, I'm starving. Like, it's crazy. I know that's the best way to eat. Small meals throughout the day. But I tend not to do that. Pregnancy has kind of forced me to do that, so maybe I'll keep that up after I give birth. But geez, like, it's crazy. I just, like, I feel so full with nothing. But again, like 2 hours later, it's not like I'm like, kind of hungry. I'm like, no, I'm starving. It's crazy. It's crazy. But whatevs, it's all for her, and we can't wait. So yeah, moving along. I kind of want to see if my other mermaid is here. I think it's in the other box. It'd be kind of cool to just show these, just because I have those all in front of me. Is it this one? No. Oh well. I guess that's not happening. Hold on, this is upside down and it's gonna bug me if I don't fix it. Alright, I guess I'll just leave this up here and get back to it when I can. So let's pull these guys. Woo! I just spilled something. Nothing major, but I did spill something. Oh, I've already pulled some of these. Okay, hold on. I'm a hot mess, people. But I'm pregnant, so, you know, I have an excuse. Even though I'm a hot mess even when I'm not pregnant, so, you know. Alright, my next one is one of my hates. This is a quick stitch. As you guys know, quick stitch and minis with Heaven and Earth are a bit of a joke because they're so huge. But I mean, when you see one of those real big Heaven and Earths, you're like, oh, I understand why this is called a quick stitch, or why this is called a mini. So this is Phantom of the Opera. I don't have the finished piece, so I'm going to insert what that's going to look like here. So this is on an Ecru 28 count, no, 25 count Lugana in Ecru. This is the easy count. I don't know. 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 I don't I don't know, there's two. There's one by Swigart and one by DMC. You know if it's DMC because the lines are red, and it's 20 by 20 blocks because they're assuming you're going to stitch 2 over 2. The one by Swigart is 10 by 10, which is nice for most full coverage people will making sure that's not the back. Most full coverage people will stitch 1 over 1 on either 28 or 25. Some people do stitch 2 over 2. So I don't have a lot done. I just got some of the first 20 by 20 block done there. I've got 2 colors in so far. Why do I feel... Oh, it's this way. I'm like, that can't be right. I never would stitch this way. I would stitch this way. It's like this. So that's what I've got so far. I started this on the weekend. I went to go see Phantom. I've seen Phantom a lot. It's my favorite musical. So I've seen it 5 times professionally. 1 time was a local production, which I was kind of excited about because I didn't know like Phantom. Oh my gosh. And then the worst is they call twice. That's usually how I know it's a telemarketer. So I'm like, if it really was somebody trying to reach me, they would leave me a message. And if they don't, I mean, that kind of sucks. But honestly, like if it's really, really important and it's not just somebody that wants to say hi, they'll leave a message. So anyway, so that, I might throw that into Year of WIPs and try to make a page goal. In Year of WIPs, you know, for Heaven and Earth 1 page is a finish because they're so big. So yeah, next one is by Joan Elliott, but it is a Design Works kit. This is Love. There are 6 of these. There's technically 8 of these, but 6 of them are in the cool colors, and you're about to see what I mean, and 2 of them are in warm colors. So like I kind of feel like they're related but not close. So I do have all of these, and you can see there, I mean what I mean by cool colors. There's Love, Believe, Love, Hope, Faith, Dream, and one more that I can't remember, but there's 6 of them. And then there's Family and Friends, but Family and Friends are in like yellow, orange, and green. So like even though it matches the style, it's not the same, I guess, in my mind. This did come with 14 count Aida. The way I want to finish them, I want them to fit in a 4x6 frame. So I decided to size down to 16 count Aida. It'll be a little tight, but it'll work. Seriously? You know what? I know that it's like every time I'm like, maybe it is somebody important. I answer, it's telemarketer. So I'm just gonna let it go. I know that sounds horrible, but I know it's not somebody important. I know it is not. And if it was, they would leave a message. So this is what I've got so far. Whoop, drop that. I'm not very good at showing this. I'm pregnant, right? That's my excuse for the next 9 weeks. And then it'll be like, I'm sleep deprived, I have a newborn. I don't know. Anyway, it's funny, like I feel bad because I know some people are like, oh, you know, like people who don't have kids don't know what it's like to be tired. But sometimes I feel like, I mean, it's true, but sometimes I feel like it's said very rudely. Like there are days where I'm truly exhausted, and I know there's a difference between pregnancy exhausted and I have a newborn exhausted, but like that shouldn't take away from the fact that people can be tired and exhausted from maybe having long shifts or doing stuff. So it's like, I understand that it's not the same, but it doesn't discredit that somebody could truly be very tired. Okay, this next one was a freebie from, I think, Russian website. I just titled it the Palco 2015 Monthly Sal. It's adorable. I saw somebody would stitch it on Stitch Mania, and that community is incredible because I posted it and I'm like, I saw this. I have no idea what it's called. Does somebody know what it is? And within like an hour, I had a few people direct me to the correct place. So, yay! So there's a block for each month, the title of the month, and I don't have a finished one to show you. I could try and dig it out, but the thing is, if I remember correctly, it shows each finish. So I'm really sorry I don't have a finished piece to show you. Maybe what I'll try to do is I'll insert the link to the website, if I even remembered it, because I think I just saved the pictures. But it's got the name of the month, and it's got a cute little design. And she says feel free to pick your own colors, so I have variegated colors for pretty much every design, except they're in here, and I feel like I have somewhere a piece of paper that says which colors I had picked for each month, and I don't know where that is, so I really hope I can find it, because I don't remember off the top of my head anymore what I wanted for each one. I really don't. Like, some are really obvious. I can tell which one's Halloween on here. I can tell which one's Valentine's Day. Ugh. Have to play with that. But I've got January done. And I might include this as a year of WIPs, because for this type of piece, every section counts as a finish. So I might make a goal of getting like 2 more months done. That's why I feel like I can get a lot of WIPs into year of WIPs between paid pages, which might be just 1 or 2, projects that are close to finishing, projects that are somewhat small. I can really whip down a lot. I mean, I really want to completely finish 25 projects. So even though these type of things will count as year of WIPs finishes, it won't be like complete finish. So I really do want to try. Again, I'll have a newborn in 9 weeks, so maybe that is like ridiculous, but we'll see. Anyway, there is January. I don't know if you can see, but there is sparkle on here. This is a fabric flare white 28 count even weave with like glitter, but it's not woven in, it's like sprayed on or something, because you can't see it from the back. But it's cute. My husband actually got me this piece of fabric. It was one of the first stitchy gifts he ever got me when I first started stitching. I was like, hey, I really like opalescent fabric. He's like, what the heck is that? I just gave him the address to my LNS and gave him some names of things and told him, just tell them your wife's a stitcher. She likes this. And have him help you pick something out. I think he picked that one out on his own, so. Alright, the next is Ingleside Imaginarium's Birthstone Dragon Cell, which is complete. Did I finish it? No. I finished 1 dragon. But I also started late in the first place. And I didn't backstitch him because I kept going back and forth with something I wanted to do with him. And I decided I was going to backstitch them in like a metallic thread. But I'd have to get all the metallic threads and match them up. It's just too much. So I think what I might do is throw in some metallic into the dragons themselves, and give them some like glittery scales. We'll have to see how I do that. But yeah, so we'll have to figure that out. That might be one that I definitely want to work on, but I won't necessarily finish. That's on a Q-snap. So let me see if I can get this out. Of my pillowcase. This was, hold on. Oh, jeez. Come on. This was a Q-snap. I can't remember if this is a size. I think this is an 11 by 17. If it isn't, it's one I pieced together to fit this. But the whole sal fits on here, so it's nice. I don't really have to move it because it all fits on here. I did finish all the border. I was very proud of that. I used acrylic for that. Except there's stuff that goes here, but I really want to do beads in there. So I guess technically the border's not done, but I got the first die done. And this is too long for me to get any closer unless I zoom it in, but I think you get the picture. Here. So I do still have to backstitch him, but other than that, he's done. And I did buy a little gem for him. So that is that. Let me put this back. Just to make this easier, I'm gonna pause. I'm probably gonna go grab a bite to eat, and I'll be back. Hey guys, I'm back. I had some lunch. I made myself a smoothie, trying, you know, to be healthy and all that. Greek yogurt, frozen berries, a little bit of water so it's not too thick. Works out. Best thing ever. Smoothie straw. Nice and thick, or else it's hard to use. I've got a visitor. I've got a dog. Just one. Who knows what the other one's up to. So I'll be sipping on that, if you don't mind. Yeah. Anyway, next WIP I have is Mermaid of Atlantis. I was freaking out for a second because I wasn't sure where her pattern was. I hear the other one coming. Hopefully it'll be nice. That's what she's gonna look like when she's done. I did find the pattern actually, thankfully, because I was kind of freaking out about it. But I did find it. This one is on my Omanik frame. I do want to finish her in 2018. So that's what I've got so far. She looks awesome. I don't know if I can do everything I want to do to show her properly. Maybe I can. Hold on. There's the best I can do, I think. But you get the gist of it. She is beautiful. She is on a 32 count linen by Chromatic Alchemy called Flotsam and Jetsam. Sorry, I'm rolling her back up. I love it. The only concern I have is using the Karen Water Lilies Espresso. I think that might be an issue only because it's so dark and the fabric's dark. I think I might have lucked out where it's used. There's slightly lighter patches of the dark colors, but I really wanted it to look like that. I wanted it to look like she was really, really deep underwater, as Atlantis is supposed to be. So I wanted a dark fabric instead of a lighter fabric. So worst comes to worst, I'll have to alternate and pick something else, but I think, I'm almost sure that it'll work out. So yeah, that's the first mermaid I absolutely want to get done in the new year. She is going to be a year of WIPs. I really, really would like to get her done. We'll see if that's going to happen, but that's the plan. Alright, next WIP is a stocking. I currently have 3. The one for Isabella, this one for somebody in my family that doesn't have one yet that I want to make, and I need to get this done this year. I really do. I have so little of it done. Most of what I've done you're not even going to see because I want to cover up the name so you don't see it. You'll see a tiny bit of it, but I have all the top done and I started working on this bit here. I didn't think about it when I picked the stocking, but it's somewhat intricate, so it's gonna be a while, but it'll be fine. Yeah. It's called the Enchanted Ornaments Stocking, and it's by Dimensions Gold. So you know that's a lot of work going into that one. My next WIP is also a Heaven and Earth design. This is a Story Keep, and I think I can get this done. This is called Story Keep Amour. The artwork is by Leanne Seed, and there's I think a full one of these with just a couple. But it says Amour, and that's what they look like there. You see a lot of like grayish colors in there. I thought it was going to be like very sepia toned. It ended up being very purple. I don't mind, but this is what I've got so far. I'm stitching it 2/1 10th stitch on 28 count. It's kind of like my trial piece to see if I like that. It's okay, but I still think I prefer X's over 10th stitching. There we go. That's very true to color there. Maybe I can just turn the camera this way then, since that seems to be better. Oh, but I still need to angle it anyway, so okay. I'll just angle it and go back to, so you don't have to stare at my door. So that's where I am with that one. You can see this one is one of the ones in a hoop, but it doesn't matter because it's, you know, the way it is, like it's gonna be cut down. Anyway, by the way, these hoops are the bee's knees. It's a quilting hoop. It's by Dritz. I got it at Joann Fabrics, but I haven't seen it too much there anymore. So I'm thinking they might not sell it anymore, but you can get them on Amazon. And because it's a quilting hoop, you can get some pretty big ones. I doubt you'd want anything bigger than a 10-inch, but you can get one if you'd like. I think there's like 14-inch, there's a 12-inch, so there's some pretty big hoops because they're meant for quilting. So yeah. Alright, let's get the next batch of envelopes out. I've shown you that, I've shown you that. Here we go. Okay. So the next one is also by Dimensions Gold. This is called... Whoa. How do I have this set up? What did I drop? Looks like a piece of paper. That's fine. I can pick that up later. Leave that alone, Ellie. Leave it, please. Good girl. Okay, so this is Butterfly Forest. It's beautiful. I really like butterflies, so I was very happy to see this. She's like sitting at attention. It's so cute. Very, very pretty. Should go really fast with the background because the background is all half stitches. So really the only thing that's cross stitched on here are the flowers, the leaves, and the butterflies. Everything else is half stitched, so it looks like it's really far away. The butterflies are flying like right in front of you, I guess. So that's where that is. Or that's, I'm sorry, that's what that's gonna look like. And it is on 14 count Aida that came with the kit. Would I have swapped out the fabric had I not started this when I was just like, whatever, kits are the way cross-stitching goes, and I didn't know there was other stuff available. But it's fine. I wouldn't want to restart it anyway, and it looks okay. That's all I've got so far. Lots of blends. I mean, it is a Dimensions Gold kit. But I'm sorry I didn't show that for very long. I don't know. I thought it was a long time, but you never know. So that is better. Definitely want to get back to that. Don't know if I'm going to like label it Year of WIPs and want it done, but I definitely want to work on it. I think one of my goals is to touch every WIP. At least, I don't know, an hour. Maybe I'll do that. I need at least an hour for every WIP this year. I mean, hopefully more, but at least that. I'm trying to figure out how to best lay this out. Okay. Let me move the camera back a little bit. That gives me a little more room here. Alright, my next one is called Victorian Palm. This is by Stitch and Frame. This is a company that I think is out of print, basically. I found these on eBay, and I came across it because the very first thing I stitched was a stitch and hang. And I really wanted to... Sorry. I really wanted to try and find as many as possible because it held such a special place in my heart because it's what got me into stitching. So mostly I did Christmas ornaments by them, but they do have some other pieces. So this is by Needle Magic Ink. It's not called Stitch and Hang. It just have a series called Stitch and Hang. This one I don't think is called anything, but a lot of them are like Frame and Hang or Stitch and Hang, but this one is just a kit. It did come with the little frame. I'll probably use it. And the company name is Needle Magic Ink. Sorry. So that's what it's going to look like finished. This is definitely a Year of WIPs piece because it's almost done as far as, I mean, there's a lot of stitching, but the palm is done. I'm just on the border now. Which I maybe should have done the border first, but oh well. Let me get my cardboard out so I can use it to back. This is where I am. So it's almost done, and I just need to keep working on that border. Definitely year of WIPs, for sure. I can get that done. So let me envelope that back up. That even is appropriate. And my next one, Lakeside Needlecraft Fantasy Sal. I don't have a finished picture of this, so I will insert that here. And here is, it hasn't done that before. I have an orange box following my face around. Okay, here is where it's at. There's nothing done. I considered UFOing this. I really did, because it's just so much stitching, so much. But I think I'll just keep going on it. It's not something I expect to finish anytime soon. Maybe I'll do a block a year, who knows. It's adorable. The border really got me, especially the colors. And some of the figures weren't like, I don't know. I'm not very much, I say this, but then there are pieces I like from like Clouds Factory or Frosted Pumpkin. But I don't like a lot of the cutesy stuff for some reason. I don't know. I think it's because there's so many humanoid characters, and I don't like the cutesy humanoids. I like the cutesy animals more, which is how I feel about Frosted Pumpkin. I'm really not a big Frosted Pumpkin fan, which I know some of you are like, but the animals, I love the animals. It's the humanoid creature. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, so this is on 28 count. Opalescent Lugana. I have no idea what it's called, if it even is called anything. It was from Silk Weavers, but I got it off of eBay, because we know Silk Weavers is a pain to deal with, but it's really pretty. And I got all the circle border done, and I used the Most Sale Silk, similar to the color that was called for, but the called for was a DMC. This is a little bit darker. And I started on the August block, and that's what got me. I had the bright idea to use Most Sale Silk on all of this piece, which I might still do. But the Pegasus, which is the first block, has a lot of colors that I didn't have in Most Sale Silk, but they were part of the Most Sale Silk. They were in a variegated. So I had to cut a lot to get the right color. Anyway, it's my own fault that this is taking so long, because I picked colors that weren't, because a lot of Most Sale Silk is variegated. So, like, you know, you'd have your strand and there's the color and it fades into the other color and it fades into the other color. And I just wanted to use this color out of the skein. So I would cut the chunk off, and of course it wasn't very long. So it's my own fault that, like, I just kind of started driving me crazy and I stopped. So I think what I'll do is, it'll be what it'll be, and from after finishing that one, whenever I get to it, I probably will just pick the floss, whether it's variegated or not, and just stitch away, and whatever color comes out, comes out. And if I really don't have anything, I will just make it a DMC cotton. But it's just kind of sitting, not getting done, and it probably won't be worked on for a little while. because I drove myself crazy trying to match up colors. I also converted the wing. I don't even remember what color the wings are, but I thought they looked weird, so I continued the color of the Pegasus itself onto the wings instead of the color that was called for. We'll see when I pick that up again. Anyway, next one, Busilla. I didn't do it. This kind of looks like my dog, Sammy. If I say her name, she'll start jumping, so I spelled it. I decided I did not like this, and I'm probably just gonna, I did all the blue already, and you're gonna see that. And I know it looks like she's peeking out behind it, which is kind of the point. But maybe the way I finish it, I just don't like that pattern. And I think it would look silly to just make it blue. So I'm gonna cut it off there. And then finish it, I don't know, maybe into a little pillow. Maybe I'll get some sort of, oh my gosh, I can't think of the name. Flew out of my head. Matting, a mat board. So it'll still fit in a 5x7 because that's the size of it. I don't know, I guess it's 7 inches, but it's not 5, so I don't know, I'll figure something out. Haven't stitched on this in a while. Need to stitch on it. I am finding needles like a crazy person that I'm not even using, so I think I'm going to start collecting some of these, because honestly, here, I'll put it on my needle minder on this WIP just so I have them. Okay, that's where I'm at. All the blue is done. Everything else that's left is the puppy, except for this, which was supposed to be, you know, but it's gonna end here instead of having that extra piece. So we'll see. Yep, we'll see what I decide. Fun stitch, just really tedious, especially with all the blue. I mean, now it looks like there'd be quite a bit of confetti going on in some of the areas here, but not like that blue. That blue was something else. That blue I stitched during Wine and WIPs 2 years ago. So, next WIP, Sailor Moon Crescent Wand. I don't have, or do I have? I might have a picture of what this should look like finished, so I don't need to insert it. Yep, it's in black and white, but you'll see I'm stitching it in pink. It's one color. So it's little motifs that make up Sailor Moon's Crescent Moon Wand, or Moonstick it's called in some places. It's adorable. Started this on a whim. I'm using DMC 602. Should probably write down somewhere that that's in that envelope in case I ever need it for a project. It's the most Sailor Moony pink there is in the DMC line. I'm doing this on 18 count Opalescent Ada by Zweigart, and there is what I've got so far. I stitched on this one day. It's cute. It'll be awesome. I don't know how much of the fabric it's going to take. It should be pretty long, but I might have a little bit at the bottom. No clue what I'm going to do with it when it's done, but hey. It's cute. I love it. I wish the designer made some projects like that had the other Senshi in it instead of just Sailor Moon. But that's what I've got so far. Alright, the next one is also a Busilla kit. This is called Bloom and Be Happy. It's going to look like that. Yep. It's cute. it's so much prettier than it looks like. Like, I kind of picked this up on a whim when I was still buying kits from like Walmart and stuff. But when I started stitching it, the colors really are beautiful. Look at that. I know this is like, but look at that color palette. It's really pretty. It does not look that pretty on the, and this is like printed on cardboard, so even more loss of, you know, definition and stuff. This is how much I've got of it done so far. It's the rose in the middle. See how much like brighter that is? I mean, I was amazed. So definitely want to get back to that at some point. Not sure when. Don't think it'll be a Year of WIPs piece, but it was one of those other, like, maybe I'll make this a first project or like a traveling project. I don't know. The next one's another freebie by DMC, but this is from their old freebies. So I'm thinking that it's not available anymore, so I apologize. It's called Halloween to Pyre, and it was supposed to like introduce or have their glow in the dark. You can kind of see that that's the gridded pattern here, but you can't really tell because it's so tiny. The actual pattern is back here. That's kind of what it looks like. I just stitched it on the fabric it said, which is a 14 count fiddler's cloth by Charles Craft. I haven't even cut it, but this is like the size of it, so like I'll have all of this left down here. And just, again, some border, so I didn't get too much done. This is when I first started stitching and I got into sowls, and I wanted to join in every sowl, and I had to pick a piece for everything, and I was all about the freebies because, well, I mean, it does get pricey, but it wasn't just that. Like, I didn't know there was so much stuff available with 1-2-3 Stitch and LNSs and all that. Yeah. Next one. This was a rack by just somebody on the Heaven and Earth Designs group, and I felt so bad because she contacted me through Facebook Messenger, and you know how Facebook Messenger has that thing where you can contact people that aren't your friend, and the messages are in like a different place. That's a message request. It took me so long to even know that that was there. She was probably like, oh my gosh, this person's so ungrateful. And I contacted her and I said, I am so sorry. It'd been like months, like 3 or 4 months, if not more. I'm like, I'm so sorry. This is so kind of you. And I would assume, like, because normally you just see something in your email and you're like, what's this? But I never saw anything in the email, so that was part of the issue. Sorry, I'm like accommodating myself here. I never saw an email. If not, I would have realized something. I saw something. Somebody sent me something, but I never got an email. So I think that was part of the issue. And when I saw the message, I'm like, this is so kind. I never did receive an email. I checked, you know, the junk folder and all the different folders in Gmail, and there was nothing there. I don't know if this was even still possible to get this chart. You might have re-gifted it at this point. I just wanted to say thank you so much for rocking me. That was so very sweet of you. And the chart was Mini Amethyst by Rachel Anderson. That's what it's going to look like when it's finished. I, like a crazy person, want to stitch all 12. There's one for every birthstone. I do have my favorites, of course, but being a completionist, I kind of want to stitch all of them. Who knows if that'll even happen, because you'll see how little of this I have done. I actually have Mini Sapphire, which I bought myself, and I have Mini Aquamarine, which was also racked to me very sweetly by another Flosstuber. It was at the time where I was recovering from my first pregnancy that ended up in a loss, and it was just so sweet of her. She wanted to cheer me up, and she sent me this gorgeous pattern, and amusingly enough, it may be my daughter's birthstone. It might either be Amethyst if she really is born February 28th or early, But from my understanding, it's most likely she'll be late. And if that's the case, she'll be a March baby, so she'll be an aquamarine. So that would be really fitting. We'll see if that happens. If it doesn't, it's still a beautiful trend, and I can't wait to stitch it, or at least start it. This one's in a frame. It's in a little hoop. I'm trying to do this without spilling everything. Here it is. That's all I've got so far. You can see it's not very much. But it's cool that one page will fit in this hoop. This is a spring tension hoop. Not necessarily my favorite, but it works out. This was before, oop, I just popped the hoop off. Hold on. There we go. The reason these are not my favorite is because I feel like it's hard to get the fabric tight, and I like my fabric tight on these. Like, even just to show, it's all like not stretched out. There we go. I lost my good angle for true color. So yeah, I've got about half of a column of the first page. I've learned a lot since then about heaven and earth design stitching, and if I keep doing that, I'll have column lines, so I'll have to figure this out. This was also before I discovered easy count fabric, so I'd have to grid. I already started. It's not a big deal. I'll just grid it out page by page. But yeah, that's where she's at. I have no idea when I'm going to pick her up again, but I'd really like to get a page finished sometime soon. As far as Heaven and Earth Designs, I'm somebody who wants to only stitch the minis and the quick stitches. I said I'd never stitch a full-size Heaven and Earth, and I just request for it to be made into a mini until a piece came out that I really wanted. And I bought it. It's huge. I haven't started. I have no plans of starting it for a while. But probably aside from that piece, I'll stick to minis and quick stitches because I don't know. They're not really my jam. It's too much. It's too much. I don't think I could do it. But the minis, I feel I can do. Alright. DMC, DMC. Oh my gosh, I wrote DMC. On my label, I wrote DMC. It should say Dimensions. Dimensions Glory of Autumn. This is a very popular kit. That's what it looks like when it's done. Comes with 14 count Aida. I did start it on the Aida. It was the tiniest of starts. I may consider swapping this out for an even weave, but I haven't decided yet. I might not. I'm sure it'll still look gorgeous. I have one stripe right in the middle. This is like the bottom edge of one of the rooftops. I started it in Mania, the only Mania I've participated in fully, which was 2015 or 2016? 2016. That day, I went on the yearly field trip for my school, which was to Orlando. We live in Florida, so a lot of the big trips are either Disney or one of the Disney park or one of the Universal Studios parks. And I knew I didn't want to take that with me, so I'm like, but I still wanted to start it. So I ended up getting a little extra early. I mean, I had to be at the school by like 4:30 in the morning. So I got up just like 20 minutes earlier. I had it all set up and I just put in my stitches. And then I took a little mini thing that I worked on in the park. It was a Harry Potter thing, and it was the first time I was going to go to Harry Potter Universal, so Diagon Alley. And Islands of Adventure has been around a lot longer. I had already gone to that. So I wanted to stitch something Harry Pottery. at the park. So I took a little mini thing I found off of Etsy, but I still wanted to start that. So that's why there's nothing on it. I have not touched that since I started it in 2016. I need to work on that this year. This is the Musilla Heirloom Collection, Quiet Fire. I got so lucky with this pattern. I got it for really cheap off of Amazon. I guess it's because it's discontinued because I can't find it anywhere. It's beautiful. I love it. I want to give this as a gift to somebody in my family who may or may not see this video, so I don't want to say. It's on a even weave. Does it just say even weave, or does it actually say what type of... It just says mushroom even weave. I really want to work on this year. Like I said, I want to touch everything, but I really want to put some good progress into this because I don't have a lot. I gridded only half of this fabric. I might not grid the other half as I've gotten more comfortable with working without gridding, but maybe I will because I do like having gridding there. And I just did a little bit of the top. I don't think I've touched this since I started it either, and I really should. It was a pain to sort the floss. This was the reason I bought a DMC color card. Even though it doesn't have DMC floss, but I used a conversion online to help me. Just because some of the colors were so similar that it helped me organize the floss. And you know what? That is the first bin of folders. Yay! I don't know how long I've been recording, but it's been a while because this video is going to be really long. So I'm going to go put that back. I'm going to get my other box, and then we'll continue on this wonderful journey of my WIP Parade. Hey guys, so that took a little bit longer than I thought because I actually had to dump the video files from my camera, which it's kind of telling me it's going to be a bit long. So hopefully I've been doing enough clips so that I don't have that weird jump. My camera after about 30 minutes does like a weird cut and starts a new clip on its own. And it always cuts off like a few seconds of sound. So if it's not timed, you know, like I can't time it, if it's not right, it'll sound really weird. So it took a while for that to dump, and that's why I do a lot of like clips. Hopefully that's not annoying to anybody. I try to make it as seamless as possible in the video editor. So the next few things I have on Q snaps, I figured I'd get those out of the way to make this easier. Probably pause again and then get through the folders. So I have my first Heaven and Earth design ever, which I haven't even finished a page of. This is Mini Unleash the Butterflies, artwork by Cindy Nielsen. It's so pretty. That's what it's going to look like. And yes, it is actually in black and white. So that's why it looks that way. I have this on... Whoop. A Q snap. Haven't taken it off. That's all I've got so far. It looks pretty good. I really can't wait to get back to this one. And I definitely am going to include this in Year of WIPs to maybe get 2 pages done on. So that's the goal, I think. Obviously there's 1 page already started. So it's down to the bottom of the page. Yeah, I am down to the bottom of the page. So if I finish that, I should have the page done, and then another one here maybe. If I got the top row done, which I think is 3 pages, that would be awesome. Maybe I'll make that the goal. But yeah. Want to see my back? It's pretty crazy. Okay. This hair clip's gonna have to go, I think. It's broken. So it started out pretty well until I started working on the butterflies and there's color everywhere. But whatever, that'll get stitched over, so who cares, right? I guess I can put this back here. I also have another story keep. This was actually an out-of-print Heaven and Earth design, so I had to get it off of Etsy. My favorite fantasy artist is Nini Thomas. When I was in high school, I used to get a lot of her stuff. And I didn't realize that the reason that it's, you know, retired is because she sells cross-stitch patterns now on her own website. Unfortunately, they're all huge, so that is kind of the sad part. There's no option to request a mini or anything, as you could have if it was in Heaven and Earth, but whatevs. Maybe after I get through some of this, I'll pick something and stitch it up because I really do love her art. So this is the actual piece down here. Hey guys, so sorry for the random jump there. Wasn't expecting to stop there because I sneezed and I'm like, whatever, I'll keep that in. It's one sneeze. And then I sneezed for like 3 minutes, so cut that out. Anyway, so I have Nene Thomas here. Story Keep Rhapsody. So the piece is called Rhapsody, but obviously it's a story keep, so it looks kind of like a bookmark, obviously. The original piece, I think, is just about that with a white background. So I guess Michelle added the background, unless Nene Thomas designed it this way. I'm not sure. Yeah, so right now I'm just at the top, which is a whole lot of black. I used this for the Heaven and Earth Design Challenge 1, so this was a checkerboard pattern and I went back and filled it in. I'm so mad I got stains on this fabric. I have no idea how. I have a needle hanging off. I don't even remember having anything near it. Thankfully that will be completely covered up by stitches, so I'm not even going to bother washing it. There's a tiny couple dots at the top though, but I'm going to wash it at the end, so it is what it is, you know? But that's that. And that I just keep in a, instead of a, you know, plastic envelope, I just keep in a two-sided folder, and I keep one pattern on one side, one on the other. I have a couple this way. I'm going to organize that in a bit. The next two I don't have the finished picture of handy, so I'm going to insert them here. They work as a pair, and they're two of my mermaids that I started during my Mirabilia Mania. I had a whole big title I can't think of right now, but I worked on a few different mermaids. Some I had already started. Most of them I started during Mania. Some of them I worked on, but I'd already started. Pardon the doggy snores. She's really napping. It's adorable. Anyway, so one is Sunrise Laguna Mermaid by Nora Corbett. The other is Moonlight Laguna Mermaid by Nora Corbett. One is available as a pattern, sold separately. One only comes in a magazine. I will insert, I guess just to make, instead of making multiple cuts, I'll insert one, then the other, and then I'll show you both. So here they are. Alright, so that was the two mermaids. So I'm going to show you where I am with them. One I have a lot of progress on, and that's Sunrise Laguna Mermaid. I have the mermaid herself done, I think, except for a color in her hair, unless it's beads that are left over. But pretty much everything is done. The skin is 1/1. I think it looks really nice, so I'm excited I did that. She's very pretty. She's very unique because the tail is warm colors, oranges and reds and yellows. Most of the mermaids are greens, blues, teals, as expected. But I got a lot of her done because I took her to my stitching night on Tuesdays at my LNS. I don't go all the time because I just have too much going on. But when I was working on her, I went a lot. So I got a lot done on her every week. Right now I'm alternating between the flowers and the border, just because the border can get a bit tedious. It looks kind of funky right now with the green just sticking out, but that's what it is in the chart, so I just have to go back and, I don't remember, I know I just inserted the picture, but as I'm recording this I don't have it in front of me, so I can't remember if the green happens to go all the way around. It might. That would make sense. I'm pretty sure it does. So this is actually all outlined in the green as well. I'm not using any of the Karen water lilies for my these two smaller ones. I just didn't think it was necessarily worth it because it added up to quite a bit. Karen water lilies are pretty expensive. So I found very similar colors with DMC variegated, Mosaic cottons, Jottery cottons, and it's worked out. I also replaced the border with a Weeks Dye Works because the purple that was charted was too light in this fabric, which, by the way, this is a 28 count something from my LNS. I don't have the tag, so but I'm pretty sure it's a Lugana. I don't remember the color or the dyer though. So, but yeah, this is definitely your WIPs. I'm so close to getting that done. It will be done. Of course, as I showed you the finished piece, I am working on her sister Sunrise, Moonlight Laguna Mermaid, not Sunrise, and they are facing each other. So I'll probably either frame them together or frame them separately, but hang them together. Isabella's nursery is all mermaid related, so that's definitely where they're gonna go. Which means I probably want to get both of these done this year. Definitely Sunrise. We'll see about Moonlight. She goes pretty quick. I stitched this tail in no time. So yeah, this is 28 count linen by Picture This Plus. I don't remember the color. I don't remember, but I know I got it off of 123 Stitch because it was on clearance. But I don't know if it was on clearance just because they had a few cuts of them, because I think this is continuously available. So they're pretty similar, but this one's definitely darker, which, you know, Moonlight. I feel like this should be Sunset look instead of Moonlight, but whatever. Because Sunrise, Sunset, but it's Sunrise and Moonlight. It works. It's still nice. I do like this one a lot more. I just think her expression's a little nicer. But I mean, this one has grown on me. She's very pretty. Also, she was holding a little boat. I thought it looked really strange, so I took that out. But in the original, she's holding a little boat there. She's not in mine. Her sister isn't holding anything, so it works. Alright, that was everything that was still on Q-Snap, so I'm going to put those away, and then we'll go through the last bit of the envelopes, and that'll be that. Okay, so I totally lied. I have one more project on a Q-Snap. Oops, that is not it. I'm just trying to get, because I have the pattern. Come on, where'd you go? Ah, here it is. I'm not even going to take this out of the plastic envelope because it'll be a pain. I know this is blue, so you can't entirely see it, but it's just like the way it's packed. I don't want to, it's Thomas Kincaid, The Little Mermaid. Pardon the glare. You get the picture. It's just the way the threads are in here, I really don't want to mess it up. So that's why. So I apologize if that was a little bit, but anyway, this is what I've got so far. It's divided into 4 pages. Each page fits into this 8x10 Q-Snap that I put together. I've gotten quite a bit done. I just haven't gone back to it in a really long time. I don't know. I'll get back to it at some point. So yeah, that's my last Q-Snap project. And then I really am on to the envelopes now. So I'm putting this away. Pardon while you look at me put that away. I'm back to my envelopes. Alright, so dimensions, Victorian Charm. Love this thing. So pretty. It's long and thin. And it's on 18 count navy Aida, which makes it a little bit tough to work on. But I absolutely want to work on that this year. Don't think it'll be a year of WIPs because I have the tiniest amount done. Did I grit this whole fabric? No, I gritted half. That's okay. That's all I have done. It's so tiny. I started this for, I think it was a Crazy 7 back when Cross Stitch and Discuss was still a group. It's okay though. I'll get back to it anyhow. It's like this little bit from this little bit here. Either this or this, one of those two. So yeah, that's all I've got done. It'll be fun to get back to because it's really very beautiful. And I can't wait. I just don't know when that'll be. I'll have to see if it fits into any sales. I do want to participate in sales this year, but I don't want to have to start stuff necessarily. And the Stitch Mania sales are very open to that. Nothing against but people who want a sale where you're all starting on the same day. But but it's nice to have the option of having some sauce where you can just jump in with a whip. Alright, next one. I'm trying to speed this up because my husband got home early from work, so I mean, it's fine. He's off in the bedroom taking a nap, but I don't want to be mean and have him be kicked out of the office. Hold on. Yeah, it's only 3:24, so it's pretty early. So I thought I'd have more time, like, you know, by myself, but I always feel bad. Not because I don't mind if he's home when I make videos. It is weird if he's in the same room. I don't like that. That's kind of odd. But I just feel bad, like, shunning him from a section of the house while I do it. Anyway, my next one is Reflections of Paris by Ink Circles. This was a Mania 2016 start, and that was the only time I touched it. This is on 28 count witched, scratchy as heck linen, but beautiful color, so whatever. That's all I've got so far. I really wanted to make it different, so I picked really crazy colors: green, linen, and a variegated floss. This is Moselle Leia cotton. I also have reflections of London and reflections of New York City. I feel like there's more now. I know there's reflections of Canada, I believe. I don't know if those are the only 4 that are out. Love to do those, but I mean, I gotta get going on this, you know, like I haven't even touched it since I started it. So we'll see when those, I have the patterns. I actually got them for a really good deal because, and I don't know if you could really call it an LNS because they're more online. They're really an online store, I guess. But like if people go to their like warehouse, they'll get stuff. It's like, it's kind of far from me, but it's still drivable, you know. It's like an hour or so. And it's really a warehouse, and they had like this closing sale, but I don't know if that means the warehouse is closing, the online store is closing, but basically you got buy one get one free. So really they were 50% off if you do the math. So I got both of them for a really good deal. Okay, the next one is a Petite Dimensions Gold. It's called Butterfly Vignette. It's adorable. I believe this was also a crazy 7 start. I got quite a bit done for having worked on it on just one day, and that's all I've done on it. The light is working against me now, but you get the idea. It's this top corner here. So, looking forward to getting back to that. Possible Year of WIPs. It's funny because since I know that Year of WIPs, the goal is to finish at least half of your projects, I feel like some of them will make it in there. No, like with me knowing that I'm not gonna finish them. Hey guys, so sorry about that. My battery randomly died even though it didn't look like it was dying. So the last thing I was showing you was a Ready, Set, Stitch Counted Cross Stitch Kit. This is like a really beginner stitch, but I thought it was really cute. And it was like $3 or $4 at Walmart, so why not? Live simply, love truly, laugh freely. Yep. Started this quite a long time ago. I even gridded the fabric. Didn't really need to do that for something so small, but I was really into gridding when I did this. There you go. That's what I've got so far. Might throw this into Year of WIPs just because I feel like I could really get that done. I think that was actually a crazy 7 start as well. What's this? Oh, I think I took this on a trip. This is from a magazine, Seafarer's Globe, I think is the name. I don't even remember where I have it, because I think this was a digital magazine and I printed just the chart out when that was doable. So I'll insert a picture of what this is going to look like done here. Okay, and this was a mania start. This is on 28 count vintage country cream, and this is how much of it I have done. So the outline of one of the sides of the globe. It's a very old world map type of feel, but with the mermaids, it was just, I had to. I'd really like to stitch on that quite a bit this year. Don't know if I'm gonna finish it, but I definitely want to stitch on it. Next one, Magical Creatures Calendar by Clouds Factory. As I mentioned, even though I don't like the cutesy stuff a ton, I do like Clouds Factory a lot. It's probably my favorite out of all the cutesy, like the Wee Little Stitches and Frosted Pumpkin. I like them even more now that they've got the little arms. I know certain people didn't like that change because it's so iconic of theirs. Like, it was really telling of theirs that, like, that was theirs versus anybody else's, like, cartoon people. Like, not having the little arms. They kind of look like little egg dolls. But I think what really appealed to me from this was, like, there was a lot of mythical creatures. This might have also been a reason that the Fantasy Sal wasn't, like, my jam at the time, because I was really working on this and this was already going and I wanted to focus more on this than the Fantasy Sal. Anyway, I got all the way through July with this. I love this piece. Oh my gosh, the lighting is so bad. I have to, like, really angle it and then you get it. I didn't put the month names. I haven't decided if I'm going to. Did a lot of color swapping in a lot of these blocks, especially that first one. The others are really similar, and I just used leftover floss pieces from other projects. So February, March, that's all done in DMC satin. It's a pain, but I still love it. April was the gnome, garden gnome. May, the wizard. June, the dragon, which was my favorite block and possibly why I started losing steam. That's also in DMC satin. I have like 3 blocks I wanted to do in DMC satin. Yeah, I want to do the December. So March, June, and December. That's only one more block. I think I can pull it off. Yeah. I like the way the satin looks a lot. It's just a real big pain to work with. And then for July, I did not do the Ariel looking mermaid. I did Madison from Splash. And I know the lighting is really working against me right now and I'm really annoyed at it. There we go. It sucks because if I go closer, you don't really see it that well. Like, you see more detail, but the colors are all weird. Anyway, it's a good sign that I need to wrap this up. This is definitely going to be done this year. I don't know if I'm going to hang it up in my daughter's room or not, because I'm really picky about themes, and the theme is underwater, under the sea, and this is not really under the sea, but it's cute enough that I probably will anyway. So that's quite a bit of them. I think I'm almost done here, which is good. Ooh, I left this out. I'm gonna have to go back and find that and put it in. Alright, I'm gonna put these back and I'll be back with the next batch. Okay, so I changed things up a little bit. I have my envelopes right next to me now, so it's a little easier to get in there. The next I also started for Mania. It is a mermaid. It's one of my only non-mirabilia mermaids. This is by Passione Ricamo. It's huge. It's on a fat half. It's on Calypso's K 28 count linen by Under the Sea Fabrics. And this is, oh, I should insert a picture of what that looks like finished. This was a mystery stitch along in 2014, but I didn't get it till after the fact, so I'm going to insert that here. And all I have done, I can't even tell what, if I look at my stitches, I'll be able to tell. Like this, it goes like this. That's literally all I got done. I only stitched on it that one day, and the reason for that is because this piece of fabric is so huge, and I didn't have a frame in which it fit, and I didn't want to scrunch it up in a two-snap. So I stitched that in hand. It was hard because this is a huge piece of fabric, but I did it. What are you doing? My dog is digging in my, like, stuff under my desk, which is cross-stitch stuff. I don't appreciate that. Okay, I can't even fold this back up right. Hold on. There we go. I have my giant Omanic frame though now, so I can stitch on this and not scrunch up the linen. So I'm really excited about that. I just haven't had the time. Obviously, I want to work on this because I want to touch every project this year, but this is gonna be a long time in the future. This next project, I don't think I have a picture of. It's a really old Etsy pattern. It's not available anymore, so I apologize. It's on 18 count Ada, but it's Yoda. And I've got a good chunk of him done. That's about it. I got really excited when I stitched that, and you can tell it's Yoda's ear because it just looks so, I don't know, not good. It just didn't look good. Actually, that's a restart too. I started it on 16 count Ada, and then I don't remember why I restarted it, but I'm glad I did. I'm much happier with it now. So I'm really sorry I don't have a finished picture, but it's basically Yoda, you know, what he looks like. It's a realistic type pattern. It only goes up to his torso, and he's holding his lightsaber. Let's see, what's this? This is Heaven and Earth Designs, Mini Sunrise. Also by Rachel Anderson. She's one of my favorite. Her and Cindy Nielsen are my two favorite Heaven and Earth design artists. I'm trying to see if any of these is the finished picture, but I don't think it is. So I'll insert a picture of what this is going to look like finished here. So there is a mini sunrise and a sunset. She's not available in mini, but I do want to request her as a mini. We'll have to see. Is there a needle on here? There is. Let me take that off. I'll leave the needle minder on, but no, that was very creaky. But yeah, I want to get at least a page finished on her. I know this looks like you can't tell, but once all the other colors get stitched in, you're going to be able to tell. It looks dirty, but it hasn't even been out to be dirty, so whatever, it'll get a wash at the end. Yeah. This I started for the cross-country challenge on, or one color at a time, cross-country challenge for Heaven and Earth Designs, and got halfway. You can't really tell right now, but it's going to look great when it's all, you know, together. So I do want to do her and Sunset. I got to request her as a mini first. So we'll see. I mean, maybe I'll get lucky and somebody else would have requested her by the time I'm ready to get her. I think I'd like to get maybe half of Sunrise done before I even purchase Sunset. We'll see. We'll see. The next is the Freebie Epic Pokemon First Generation. I don't have a picture of that, so I'm going to insert what that's going to look like here. And all I've gotten done, and this is, by the way, on 18 count Aida, is that I think I stitched on it 2 days. And I did it because I don't even know where my paper is for this. I might be stitching this from the digital. I might not have printed it out, even though I'm very much a paper pattern type of person. This is going so much faster. I wish I had done this earlier. This video would be a lot shorter. Sorry, guys. Anyway, we'll go with this. We'll see when I get back to that. That's gonna take forever. This is Dimensions Twilight Silhouette. That's what it's gonna look like. Joanne from Stitching Joanne has stitched this, along with others, I'm sure, but that's the one I recall right now. This is on 14 count Navy Aida. I consider swapping it out for Navy Even Weave. I can still do that, I guess. I have so little of it stitched. It's fun. I actually started where it's not even gridded. I got annoyed with the gridding, so I just kind of gridded an outline, and that was enough for me. And you can you even tell? It's some dark blue stitching. You can tell in real life. There we go. That's the bottom of the design. I think something happened when I was gridding this, and I was like, I need to start this, because it was for a Sal, and I wasn't ready, so I think that's what happened there. I'm excited to work on it, but I still haven't decided if I'm going to go with the Even Weave or not. I might just do it on the Aida, it's fine. I don't have anything against Aida. I just, obviously if it's something that has partial stitches, I definitely prefer Even Weave. But I stitch things on Aida, it's no big deal to me. Designworks Vision of Hope. This was a kit from Designworks I got at Joann's back when I didn't know there was things besides kits. I guess I should probably pull it out so you can see it a little bit better. It's on 11 count Aida, which was, I considered swapping out for at least 14 count Aida. But because it comes with these really massive beads, I figured that's the, here, I'll show them to you. Look at that. Those things are huge. I think that it has to be on the 11 count. Or 2 over, you know, 2 over 2? 3 over 2 on 20 count, which would be the same thing anyway. 22 count, whatever. Am I? Okay, I was making sure I actually stitched that 3 over 2. That's how much I got so far. It's the top order. Haven't gone back to that. Not sure when I'm going to get back to this one. But, I don't know. There's some things where I'm like, should I just UFO some of these? Like, I have so many other things I want to stitch instead. But, I feel really bad UFOing some stuff. Because I feel like I will. And then I'm going to want to stitch on it. So, we'll see. Maybe if I haven't, I mean, my plan is to touch everything at least once in 2018, but depending, we'll see how some of these look at the end of 2018, and maybe then I'll really think about it. Say, do I want to stitch this? Why not? This is a couple freebies. One is a Chatelaine, which I don't think I've addressed this in my videos yet because I hadn't talked about it. You can't even see what this looks like finished. But it was so shocking to me when I heard Martine passed. I mean, it was clearly unexpected, and we don't really know what happened. I don't think we know what happened because that's for her and her family. But I'm like, yeah, this was my plan to practice on this and do a full one, and geez, it's crazy. I mean, I know her designs hopefully will remain available, but yeah. So anyway, this is Manuela's Roses, or Martina's Roses. No, this is Sunflowers. Manuela's Sunflowers. There is a Martina's Roses, but this is Manuela's Sunflowers. That's all I've got. I already had to frog, which is funny, which is why I learned mark the top of your mandala designs, because you'll mess up otherwise. Yeah, that's been sitting in the hoop for like a year or more. And the other one was called Spring Egg. I think it was a DMC freebie. And I don't really have a picture of what it's going to look like finished, but it's basically, I can show you from pretty far away the pattern. It looks like that, and it's purple and yellow. And this is all I've got so far. This I started for a Sal, but I still really like it, so I do want to work on it. You can't even, can you even? Some purple stitches. Next one, Joyful World Sal. Oh my gosh, I literally started this and didn't do anything else. This is the January piece. I want to do the months in Spanish, just because I wanted to make it different. This is Summer Khaki, 32 count, I believe. I'm almost sure it's 32 count, and it's huge. It's a fat half. And I might have to restart this. I mean, it's so tiny that it doesn't even matter. Look at that. I can't even find where I started it. Okay. Because a border was released at the very end, and I might do that. Here, let me fold it so that it's... No, wait, that's the back. Sorry, guys. It's just such a big piece of fabric. I don't even know what DMC color this is. Oh, it's the one on here, 420. Okay, that's good to know. But either way, I might have to unpick this unless I already have enough room for the border. I literally just started a tiny, tiny corner and did not get to it. I actually have to stitch the one of the months twice because I'm converting it into a birth sampler for my my cousin's daughter, so technically my second cousin. Yeah, so hey, maybe I'll stitch that one first as a practice and then do the whole thing. I might not, I mean, I'll touch that because I want to and maybe decide what I'm going to really do with it, if I'm going to do the border, if I'm not going to do the border. But that's probably going to be a focus in like 2019. Alright, the last stocking I have is Designworks Penguin Party. Can you see that pretty well? I might not even have to take that out. Yay! I think that's going to speed this up because this is so long. This is again for somebody else in my family who doesn't know they're getting it. I'd like to have it done this year just to get it done. And that's what I've got so far. Not a lot. Just a little bit of the portion, like where it separates, where the name's gonna go. So it's like literally the gold and then some of the bottom. Yep. Not a lot done, but maybe try and get that done this year. If not, at least get some decent progress on it. So I can definitely have it done for 2019. But I think I'd like to have it done for the 2018 and just have all the stockings done. Especially if another one does happen to come up. Alright, we're almost there. I've got 3 more things to show you guys. Just 3. So the first one is called... I don't even know what it's called, but I got it off of Etsy. I call it the Etsy bookshelf. This is just the pattern, so maybe I'll hold it far back enough. But it's books on a shelf. The quote says, "Books are both our luxuries and our daily bread." I might change that. I might exclude the quote. I haven't decided. Maybe I'll do a bottom brown ledge. I don't know. I haven't decided. But this is what I've got so far. It's the first 2 books. And I started on the 3rd. And I don't know. even remember what floss I used. I think I know, but I decided to do them all in variegated colors. So yeah, this is really wrinkled and scrunched up because it was squished into a tiny, tiny Q-snap. Haven't touched that in a long time. Maybe a year of WIPs piece. I don't know. Maybe I'll make a goal for myself to finish a certain number of books. I have Heaven and Earth Designs Mini Butterfly Effect. This, I'm actually excluding the droplets. And I already cut the fabric to fit that. So, yeah. I definitely can't do them. I don't know. When I remembered the piece in my head, I remembered it without it. So when I went and bought it, I'm like, oh, there's like fading paint, which is a good effect, a good design. But since I'd already envisioned it that way, I decided to just leave it. Yep. So yeah, anyway. This is on a 25 count Lugana, as is every Heaven and Earth design I do, but because it's mostly black and white, it is hand dyed. It's a Silk Weavers opalescent Lugana. I have no idea what it's called. I think it might even be a solo dye, and all I got was a little bit of the hair done. This was a Mania start. You can see I already cut my fabric, so like I wouldn't change my mind, I guess. So this isn't going to be that big. Hopefully I measured that right, but I get the feeling I measured it like 1,700 times before I cut, so it better fit, or else I'll have to modify it to make sure it fits. I have no idea when I'm going to finish that, but I'm definitely going to touch it. The last WIP I have to show you is actually not originally my WIP. It's my husband's WIP. And he decided that it's too big. And it is. And I kind of warned him that it's a little big and there's only 4 colors, which is easy, but a lot of it is solid red. And for the sake of not inserting one more thing in here, I am going to pull it up because I have the picture right here to show you. Oh, I thought I had it right there, but I mean, it's a little bit off. So this is from Etsy. That's what it looks like. I know, reflection. But all that red is one color. And then it's outlined in a darker red. And he got to a certain point, and it's like he still says, I'll stitch with you. I can't do those big pieces. It's too much. I can't, because he stitches so little at a time, it would just take him an eternity. And that's understandable. But he liked it enough to want to start stitching it, so I'm gonna finish it for him. He got Belle, so I'm sure he'll find another piece. He showed interest in a Super Mario piece. I just have to help him find one. That's probably gonna have to be an Etsy type of pattern, and something small, something 5x7 or smaller and not full coverage, because he like enjoys stitching with me sometimes, and it's very adorable. I even had it in a plastic bag instead of an envelope so he could like take it places, and it just didn't work out because it's too much, and I totally understand that. So yeah, I do have another piece technically, but the thing is, I kind of lost it. I have the pattern, I have the threads, I have the picture, but I don't know where it is. It was on a little thing of perforated paper. It was a Mill Hill. So, and I had maybe like 20 stitches in it. So I don't have it to show you. Actually, I can show you the pattern real quick. So I lied. I guess I have one more, but I just don't have it in front of me. Is it this? It was, where did I put that? Huh. I literally just had it. And I can't find it now. So maybe I need to turn this to see better. Here it is. So it's possible that I think I know what might have happened to this. I think I needed the perforated paper for something else. And there was only, like I said, 20 stitches, maybe not even that many. And this is what it is. The Jim Shore Snowman. It's the Northern Snowman by Mill Hill. And I think I know why I did it. Because I think what I want to do is stitch all four. You have the Northern, the Western, the Eastern, and the Southern on fabric instead of the perforated paper. So I'm almost 100% sure that's what I did with this. I unpicked it and I used the perforated paper for something else. And I'm going to stitch this on a blue even weave and just stitch them together. Now the only thing I'm not sure what I'm going to do is, if I look at the border, it looks like they all have sort of that Christmassy corner with a slightly different button. So, and it's cute. I just realized that the button is on a different corner each time. So I'll have to see, like I'll have to do, this will have to be the top right, so that's perfect actually. Then the top left will be Southern. Then the, oh wait, no. I guess I could just put the button myself. I guess I could do it kind of like a compass. I don't know. Or maybe that would be cute. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, that's what happened with that. I was gonna do it, and then I decided to stitch it on fabric, so that's why I don't have it to show you. For a minute I'm like, did I lose that? How could I have lost that? But that's what happened. I unpicked the like 10 stitches and used the perforated paper for something else, a gift I wanted to make. So yeah, so I guess that'll technically isn't a WIP right now. It's gonna be a new restart. We'll see. We'll see when I decide to work on this guy. Maybe I'll work on getting the other 3 so I can really place them out. Anyway, that's it. That was my WIP parade. That's probably like 17 hours long. No, not that many, but it is pretty long. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's a little bit late, I guess, compared to when everybody else was doing their WIP parades, but it's a good time because it's the end of the year. It really helped me see what I've got going, and it helped me get some ideas for Year of WIPs, so I'm looking forward to that as well. Look for that video sometime in next week. That should be, of course, a lot shorter, because it should only be 20 projects, maybe 30, so it'll be long, but not ridiculously long, because this was like 50 something projects. Alright, if you have any questions, if you want any more detail about any of these projects, please let me know in the comments down below, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and rest of 2017. It is Friday the 29th right now, but I know this is going to take me 27 years to edit. I'm just joking. It's going to take a little while. It's got to get uploaded first, and then I have to edit it, and I might not get to editing it until either later tonight or sometime tomorrow. Maybe not even until technically the new year. So if I do have this up, I want to try and get it up before New Year's, even though you probably will see it after New Year's, especially if it's right before New Year's. So if you do see this before New Year's, I hope you have the great rest of 2017. If you see it after New Year's, I hope the start to your year has been amazing and that your whole year continues to be so. I will see you soon. And I look forward to hopefully doing a little bit more videoing this coming year. Filming, floss tubing this coming year. I know I always say that, but since I am planning myself out, especially with Year of WIPs, I really do think I can squish in at least a little update, even if it's a quick one. Even with a newborn, I don't know, we'll see. I mean, maybe I'll be up enough that I can shoot a little video on my phone even and just say, hey, here's where I'm at. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Bye!